What's going on, everyone? So this head coaching search has just been a total disaster, right? There's all this chaos, and no one really seems to know what is going on, what the Lakers' plan is, right? Lakers, early on you heard Tyronn Lue and, maybe it's Mike Budenholzer. And you're seeing the well of coaches really dry up fast. And it's getting thinner and thinner. I mean, you're even hearing about James Borrego is very likely to be taking the Cleveland Cavaliers job. That'd be another potential candidate that the Lakers were super high on that now is going elsewhere, right? Lakers threw an offer at Dan Hurley. I know people are disappointed and upset with the type of offer. I don't really believe it was about money. I don't really think it was about finances. I don't think he was ever coming to the Lakers, right? Now, there's reports coming out that basically are saying everything that I was saying, which is like, I just think this is a leverage play. I think he's using the Lakers to get what he wants from UConn. I don't believe he's going to leave, the legacy and history that he's building and the dynasty that he has there and to come to the Lakers and have to basically deal with all the mess and noise that goes with that. And sure enough, now you're getting the reports that are saying the same thing, right? And now you're also hearing reports that like, hey, no, Dan Hurley was never the number one option, right? It was just he kind of developed and came out of left field, right? Even though that there were reports like, oh, they've been talking for like a month. But it's like, okay, well, if you were, how come you didn't have a formal sit down till like, a couple days ago, right? Like it wasn't adding up. None of it really made sense, in my opinion. And one of the things that I've continued to put out is that I believe JJ Redick is going to get the job. I believe JJ, this is his job to have, right? And yes, I know that now there's the reports that are coming out like JJ may not be interested in the job anymore and the Lakers aren't really interested in the job anymore and all this noise. And you're getting all these conflicting reports. Like one side is saying this, one side is saying that, right? But again, when you take the step back, what do I always say? What did I keep saying as to why I believe Dan Hurley isn't going to come, right? When you take the step back and you evaluate the situation, you see everything that's going on. What was the root? The root was that this was JJ Redick's job. That this is his. I mean, JJ Redick was literally in an interview talking about how, basically said that he's taking the job, right? Like, I'll talk about it after the NBA Finals, right? So why go through all that? Like, why is all this chaos happening now? Well, to me, this kind of makes sense, right? And again, it's just my thoughts and opinions. But if this really was and is JJ Redick's job from the jump, a big kind of looming question and concerns from fans, the media, everybody, is that like, is JJ Redick qualified to take the job? Right? Is he the best option? Right? Are the Lakers really going to hire a coach that, didn't have the real, resume to do so? You get a first year head coach for a team that has LeBron and Anthony Davis and all this stuff, right? And so what do you do to kind of calm that noise? You go and you hear about Dan Hurley. You know you're not going to get him. You know he's probably not leaving. But you do it to generate and create this. But why did the news come out randomly out of nowhere? Right? Like, all of a sudden, we just get this Dan Hurley news from Woj. That came out for a reason. So, why? Okay, well, because, again, if you're going to hire a first-year head coach, you're going to have all this kind of controversy that comes with it. But if we went after Dan Hurley, it didn't work. We tried. Ah, man, James Borrego. I mean, we wanted James, but he took the Cavs job. Right, man, Mike Budenholzer. Like, we thought he was our guy. And, he went to the Suns, right? Like, you have all this excuse where everybody just goes, well, I guess there was no other choice but JJ. Right? The Lakers tried. They did their due diligence. Right? Like, I am very confident. Again, I could be wrong. I don't know. No one really knows. But it's just odd. You had this like month stretch, a little longer maybe now, of just like it's JJ, 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 JJ. Lakers aren't really doing interviews. The interviews that they are doing, they're doing it for assistant coaching positions for JJ Redick. Everyone's coming out like, hey, it's JJ Redick's job. Like I said, he's doing an interview where he basically says, like, yeah, I'll address it when the NBA Finals are. The Lakers can't hire JJ Redick till after the NBA Finals. Right? So how do you kind of take away and distract and, keep the noise off of A, the Lakers hiring JJ when the time comes, and B, how do you take the noise off of JJ Redick while he's doing the NBA Finals? Because you don't want to have this you don't want to have all this noise. What is the deflection, right? Like, think of a magician. You're looking over here while the real trick is happening over here. That's kind of how this feels to me. This feels like it's JJ Redick, JJ Redick, JJ Redick, JJ Redick, right? I'm going to do a card trick. You know it's a card trick. It's a card trick you've seen 1,000 times. At the end of the card trick, it's exactly the trick that you thought. But there's all these theatrics, there's all this spectacles, there's all these things going on that try to make this an illusion. But ultimately, at the end of the day, they're going to show you your card. It's how this feels. JJ Redick is the card that we drew. And at the end of this little magician's tale, the Lakers are going to hold up the card that is JJ Redick. And it's like, oh, yep, it was JJ all along. And all this other stuff, I think, is just to take the attention off of JJ, to not distract while, and then there's all these talks now about, JJ is not interested in the Lakers anymore, that, like, he doesn't want the circus. You don't think JJ Redick knew that it would be a circus? Like, come on. Like, there's these reports going around, JJ Redick, he doesn't want this. What did he think was going to happen if he got the head job? Like, come on. Like, we all know it would have been a circus. Even if Dan Hurley and all this, even if it was just straightforward, right? Even if it was just like, hey, JJ Redick, he's the head coach. Wait until the NBA Finals. Even if JJ Redick's like, yeah, I'm the head coach. As soon as the NBA Finals is over, like, I'm good, right? Like, there would have been a circus. It would have been a madhouse. You'd had fans that loved it. You'd had fans that hate it. You'd had media that loved it. You'd had media. It's the Lakers. It's always a circus. So to think that JJ Redick isn't aware of that and conscious of that, like, that doesn't add up. Again, I could be completely wrong. Maybe they do hire somebody else. I think worst case, they're going to end up falling forward into JJ Redick if it really isn't him. But again, like, why not announce it? Why not say those things, right? Well, the whole reason why is because, again, JJ Redick is working the NBA Finals. If Dan Hurley didn't come to light and all this chaos now that's going around didn't come to light, what would be the point of discussion? JJ Redick, JJ Redick, JJ Redick. He's going to be a Laker. It's going to be ESPN and Fox Sports and First Take and all these. But all you would be hearing is that JJ Redick's going to be the Lakers head coach, da-da-da-da-da, and it's just distracting. It takes away from the NBA Finals. It takes away from JJ Redick being able to focus, do his job, right? Yes, he's still being mentioned. He's still in the thing, but it's not the circus that's direct, right? It's again, it's that smoke screen. It's that, oh, hey, look over here, right? And Dan Hurley comes, and for like a week, everything went away from JJ. And everything, like, it's just, again, it's like, that's the talk, that's the noise, that's the news, that's the discussion. It comes out the first game of the NBA Finals. Do you think that wasn't, like, that was just a coincidence time? Why didn't it come out the day before? Why didn't it come out the day after? Why didn't it come out? Like, if this really was going on for a month, right? Like, why did it came out the day of the NBA Finals? Why? Because that's JJ Redick's first day. So instead of all of the talk being about JJ Redick all day and him being the head coach of the Lakers, it all shifts to Dan Hurley. Dan Hurley, Dan Hurley, I mean, the report came out at like 4 in the morning. When does Woj ever release a report about the Lakers at 4 in the morning? Look, maybe it's all just a conspiracy. Maybe I have my tinfoil hat on. But I think we're going to look back when this is all over, and I think JJ Redick's going to end up being the head coach, and then we're all going to be like, oh, well, yeah, no, it wasn't a conspiracy. I really didn't have my tinfoil hat on. It really was always JJ Redick. This all just seems so random. And the talks of like, oh, Anthony Davis hates JJ Redick, or players on the Lakers hate JJ Redick. Like, okay, where was that the last month that we heard JJ Redick was going to be the head coach? All of a sudden, he's not. It just, again, you got to look at the reports. You got to look at the times. You got to, again, I'm wrong all the time, right? I know, the Laker Domus thing, and I was right about Dan Hurley and stuff. And I am right a lot. And a lot of the times, and a lot of the reasons that I'm right is because I just take a step back and I really look at everything and I evaluate and I go, okay, why does this make sense or why does it not? And I remove all my bias and I just look at the situation. And to me, this situation was very clear for a month and a half. And all of a sudden now it's all muddy. All of a sudden now it's just, why? Why? Dan Hurley, Shams came out and said Dan Hurley was not the Lakers' first choice. Shams came out and said this all kind of just developed randomly, right? When they found out that Hurley was in negotiations with UConn. To me, Dan Hurley was the Lakers' get-out-of-jail-free card. For the people that were like, oh, we don't want JJ Redick, right? It gives the Lakers time to stay back and go let James Borrego sign with the Cavs. Oh man, we really wanted him. He was the guy. But we were too busy with Dan Hurley. Oh man, Dan Hurley, I mean, it really hurt us. Otherwise, we could have had James Borrego. Man, that sucks. That's what this feels like to me. It's like, oh man, wait, JJ Redick was our fourth option. Man, but who else? It's really how this feels to me. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Again, I could be wrong. Maybe they do hire somebody else. Maybe they hire Sam Cassell or, David Edelman or something like that. I don't know. I'm not an insider. I'm just a fan. I'm just a guy. Right? But kind of like how I felt about Dan Hurley, it's kind of how I feel about this whole situation with JJ Redick. I think JJ Redick's going to finish the NBA Finals, and I think literally a day or two later, JJ Redick's going to be the head coach of the Lakers. I really do. But anyway, again, love your thoughts and opinions, how you feel, down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So if you enjoy these types of videos, truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.